And that's why Wes Craven's Wes Craven. And that's why Wes Craven is ref. Why?
I don't know.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie.
Hey guys, welcome back to We Watched a Movie. Jay, Mike, we're actually going to be reviewing a documentary that's on Netflix called Never Sleep Again. It actually encompasses all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It's a fucking badass documentary, and we're going to give you that. We're going to give you that review.
4 hours long. Crystal Lake documentary about Jason. You've got 25 Years of Terror with Halloween. This is so by far.
I loved it. It was for me, this documentary heads and tails above all these other ones.
So badass.
Because it goes, like I said, it goes into so much depth. Like you're like, I didn't know all that. That's so great. It talks about the relationship between Bob Shaye, which was the CEO executive of was it New Line Cinema, and Wes Craven, and how they had their differences, but they ultimately made this awesome movie of Nightmare on Elm Street 1 in '84.
They literally get everybody except for maybe Johnny Depp and Patricia Arquette. For those of us who love the movies, you get behind, oh, this is why this one was good, and every single thing that you hate or love about each of the Freddy movies that come after that, there's a story behind it. Like, we knew that sucked, but we did it anyway, this or that, and you're going to get pissed off watching it. You're going to be like, I fucking knew it! I knew that's why that scene sucked. I knew that's why this was so great, and just all these amazing stories. Like I said, it's 4 hours long, and you can watch that shit in one sitting.
Yeah, I did watch it in one sitting, and I got tired, and I never slept again. It starts with Nightmare on Elm Street 1, and there's been a lot of documentaries on Nightmare on Elm 1, so I was kind of like, okay, they're just going to focus a lot on this movie, and that's going to be it, and because that was the one that set the bar for all the other movies. But no, they actually give you in-depth analysis of like Part 2, which is a controversial one, Part 3, 4, 5, which, but all that, they give you all this great stuff in it, and like, the one thing that you'll take away from it, or at least I did, is Robert Shaye's kind of an asshole. He's kind of like a whiny child that doesn't get his way, and it's like, it's my fucking movie and I need it now.
That's the great thing about it. It's not like you have your favorite kid. It's like, well, Johnny is an honor roll student and he plays baseball and does this and this. It's like, they got to talk about the shitty kids too. They're like, you go from awesome Johnny to like Freddy 6, and it's like, well, you know, he got hooked on drugs and, you know, he tried his best, but, you know, he failed out of school and became a beggar on the street, you know, wiping his own butt with, you know, newspapers.
Wow, that
hurts. They actually like get into the nitty-gritty.
Fuck you, Wall Street.
The dirty details. And people talk shit about each other too. Yeah. It's like that scene in Ted where Ted gets the DVD of Cheers or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, Cheers.
And he's like, you gotta see this man, Ted Danson, talk shit about everybody. It's like that. Everybody's talking all this shit about each other, and it's got just this all-encompassing. They just talk shit about each other. Wes Craven talks shit. Everybody talks shit. It's so entertaining to watch this.
You gotta love it when Wes Craven's gonna lay down the law.
Yeah, he's so calm about it too.
I know, but he basically said, I don't really want to go into the analysis of the first one that much. I mean, we'll go back to that really quick, but in the second one, you know, obviously a lot of people said that it was the gay, homo, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and they actually explore that a little bit. The writer actually comes on and says it was all subtext. It was meant to be in that fashion, but that because of how they filmed it, it brought it right up in your butt. They said, hey, check this out. It's supposed to be like this. And he said it wasn't meant to be just like flashy everywhere.
That's the most interesting movie that they talk about.
But the director of that movie, they hired him because Wes Craven didn't like the script. He didn't want to do the script again. He's like, I was working on something else, but it's funny.
He said it was inferior.
Yeah, he did. Because the director of the second film also talks shit, though. He's like, well, I didn't think the first film was that good. So, whatever. He's like, I looked at the script that we had. I thought we had a better movie. I was like, you are a dickhead. There's no possible way that you actually thought that the Nightmare 2 was better than Nightmare 1. And he's like, I understand why it was successful. And he's always got this furtive, like weasel eyes. He's like he's always looking around, but he's like, I understand why it was successful, but I thought it was a weak script.
And that's why Wes Craven is Wes Craven, and you're you.
But yeah, Wes Craven does do it in a calm way. He was like, yeah, the script was like, whatever. I know they probably asked him, so what did you think about this? I know they probably had a couple letters because he's like, it fucking sucked! No, but he was like, I just think it was sucked. He goes, I just think it was inferior. And that's why I didn't want to do it. And that was it. And you're like, that's like the worst kind of slap in the face. That somebody be calm about it and just say your script sucks and everything you do sucks and I'm sorry. Robert Shaye is the one that mortgaged his whole friggin' dick, everything in the friggin' box to get this movie made. And he's the only one that took a chance on a lot of like George Lucas and Star Wars.
So you gotta love him for that.
Yeah, that's
you do gotta love him for that. You kind of hate him for the stuff he does in later movies, and he does become like this controlling dick. It's like Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys. Like, you don't know what you're doing, and you've screwed this, and this up. But at the end of the day, you do gotta appreciate Shaye because the movie never would have happened without him.
They were thinking of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and they were talking to the director of that movie. He was like saying that I always thought that Bob Shaye was a kind of a suffering actor. Like, he always wants to be in the movies, and he's always getting pissed off. He's like, he almost fired me because I wouldn't put him in a scene.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of like this baby a lot of the times. He walks around, he's like, I want to be in the movie. Yeah. And they're like, no, you suck. And he's like, but I want to be it. I'm going to fire you if I'm not there. So it's like this kid with a fucking, like, great play set, but he wants to, like, nobody else can touch it. I got to make the stories up, and you're going to be the shittiest character. Like, he's like that guy.
Ultimately, that mentality is what led to the later movie sucking dick.
The director of the second one said that the film made more than the first one, and he's like, Bob Shea came out with this big shit-eating grin on his face, looking into the future, because he knew this big franchise was going to happen now.
Yeah.
Like, they were going to be able to make multiple sequels for it. And that's the thing. That was what I always thought was cool about the documentary on the first one, the first film, because Wes Craven had no intention of making sequels to it. He's like, I want to tell an awesome story, and that was it. Bob Shea's the one that wanted to put a hook in it to get people their asses in the seat. So, they explore the third one, and they talk about how Wes Craven and I don't know who else he worked with to make the script, and it was this really big, dark, crazy friggin' script. And he said, I guess he almost did it as a, like, I'm going to throw him a bone. He's like, they asked him, and one of the producers said that they went to him before every Nightmare on Elm Street movie, they always went to Wes Craven.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, when it comes to the third movie, it makes you mad watching it as a fan. Some of this makes you mad watching it, but it's fun to see how things turned out. Because they even show one little excerpt from Wes Craven's script, and everybody on the set's like, well, it was too dark, it was darker, and he wanted to go serious with it. And there's just one little, like, shot that pops up in the dark, and it says Freddy. Like, colon, it's like, Freddy, you cunt, I'm gonna kill you, cunt, I hope you die. Like, something really dirty, and you're thinking what that movie could have been. Because it was a great story, and I'm not saying, I like the third Freddy movie. Yeah. It's got a lot of awesome stuff in it. I like the kids in it, I like the way they did it with the hospital. I thought the story was really cool until you get to, like, the Shibakazam, like the really corny shit. I thought it was a really great idea. But if you put Wes Craven's darker spin on that, before they added Frank Darabont and the other guy, which I'm surprised, because Frank Darabont's usually solid as shit. But before you add all the mystical shit, if you would have made that movie darker and went that tone,
you went
mystical,
like,
mystical shit, mystical shit.
Do it right.
Take a mystical shit on the toilet. But the way that they did that, like, I wish to God I would have seen that movie, and it hurts me deeply inside. It's like, I want to see what that movie would have been like if they hadn't gone all Harry Potter with it. But you live and you learn.
I do know that scene you're talking about, when they show that brief little screenshot of the script. It says cunt, and then it says, I will shit on your corpse. That's what it said.
It infuriates you so bad, because it's like, well, yeah, Wes Craven had a script, and he was more concerned with the other movies, so let the other guy finish it. He's like, and it was darker, but I wanted to go with a more mystical, like, fantastical approach to it. And I'm like, that's exactly what's wrong with the movie, you dick! It's Freddy Krueger, not fucking Harry Potter!
That's right.
But I did like that movie. Disclaimer, I still like it.
I mean, how could you not like it? It had friggin' Morpheus in it. He was, but it really does. When it goes to Nightmare 4 and 5, and when the series really starts going downhill and flushing in the toilet, in the toilet. But part 5, you start figuring out, okay, this is why they had these shitty things. Like, there's a lady on there, I think she's one of the producers. She's talking about how she was pregnant at the time, and she really wanted to bring a movie about the pregnancy and the child and all this stuff. And he was like, why the fuck did somebody give her a goddamn voice? Just shut the fuck up and let somebody else make the movie. And then they get to Nightmare 6 and like, oh, we're making it a joke now, and it's just fun. Let's just throw everything at the wall and have a great time.
It's the MTV version. Like, and that's the thing. Robert Englund's plight is hilarious too. Yeah. Like, it's crazy the things they because they even try to force him out. Like, Bob Shea is such a penny pinching dick, and he had to be in the first movie, but he stayed that way. Like, they try to force Robert Englund out of the second one because they said he was asking for too much money. They actually brought in a different guy, who sucked ass, and they're like, okay, it's got to be Robert Englund. Now we understand.
Well, that's what
we know.
Well, that's the director said he was moving around like this. He said he was like, oh, he was like, it was an extra. So he wasn't even an actor. He was just some guy that came off the street. That would be badass if you'd been that guy though. I mean, I would have been. Who the fuck does that? Yeah. Like, you're gonna play Freddy Krueger, and I know we've seen the movie. You go, oh, you try your best, like. Ooh.
But that's the thing. The reason Robert Englund is the best Freddy and always will be is because he gets the way he says like the things is so interesting in this documentary to see like the reason that he walks with this limp. It's like this gun holster, this gun shooter mentality. The reason he does everything. The guy's not just walking out there being a goof. He's really deep about his performances, which is why even in the shitty movies he's so amazing to watch. And that's the thing. They go in further into these movies and it makes you so pissed because it's like after the fourth one made all this money, then Shea and everybody was like, oh, we're right. Because even though everybody hated the movies, we're right, so we're going to do what we want to do from now on. So, and even when it comes to the one that Rennie Harlan directed, there's like, Rennie Harlan was just like, he didn't have any money. He showed up on set every day, and he kind of stank, and they were like, well, we'll just give it to you, whatever, and we'll just write the script.
Well, because he said he fucking stalked them.
And the posters were out before the movie, so they always had these deadline dates. They were always set on money. Just throw shit out there, and it's all Wes Craven's like seriousness about the movie, how they wanted to make really good movies, was just gone with the wind.
You know what the thing is? I think that this movie, almost like the series of Nightmare on Elm Street in the 80s and early 90s, was almost the equivalent of what we had with Saw.
Yeah.
They were putting the bullshit out before the movie was even done. Like, the script wasn't done, they didn't have the actors yet, they didn't have the production team yet, and then all of a sudden it was fucking like, okay, well, we got a release date in 3 months. You're like, oh, shit! I was like, let's fucking film. Do it. I was doing the old 90s. But the thing is, I think it was cool how Wes Craven even said that they interviewed that he wanted an older Freddy, and I don't remember the guy that they originally cast as Freddy Krueger, but they said that he said that Robert Englund had a dark sense of humor that he brought to the character, and he said he liked being mean. Like, it was something about him that it's like, that's what I'm talking about, like these little insights that you would never get to hear on a normal like DVD document or a DVD extra. You get to hear this, and so that's badass. I think it's great.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's like putting people on the hot seat, like Diane Sawyer, because you get these people like the bird scene in Freddy 2, which we liked Freddy 2. We actually thought, I mean, as far as the Freddy canon goes, it's terrible because they departure, but it's an entertaining ass movie.
I actually like the makeup effects.
And they're forced to say, like, one guy talking about the gay overdose, he's like, either we were all really naive or we were all just really gay, you know? And like, it's really funny to hear everybody's takes on that. They're like, yeah, some people are like, yeah, it was obviously, you know, it had homoerotic undertones, and other people are like, I didn't know.
I like that guy that was talking about how he filmed some of those scenes in the shower with the coach.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wasn't, like, he almost got defensive for a second. He's like, I wasn't the one that wanted to slap his ass with the towel. It wasn't me.
But I hated, like, the director. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
You gotta be the worst director in history to not understand the script that you're reading for your own goddamn movie.
Mark Patton, the lead actor in the movie, said that if 12-year-old prepubescent boys on the internet are saying this is the gayest Freddy Krueger movie they've ever seen, how could 40 and 50 or 30-year-old men not know it was a homosexual movie? So whatever. I mean, it was still a good. I didn't mind. I actually liked the makeup effects on Freddy Krueger. I thought it was badass. Before Mark Patton, he interviewed Brad Pitt and Christian Slater for that role, and he turned them down for Mark Patton. There's nothing wrong. I thought Mark Patton did an okay job with that movie, but it's like how many awesome actors were involved with these movies.
Yeah, and not just that, but think about they even talk about the TV series for a little while there and how all that shit went crazy. I mean, this movie gets into the deep, dark butt cracks of Freddy Krueger.
Deep
you know?
throat.
Deep right in there. And they talk about every little thing in this movie. As a documentary, it's a 10.
Oh, God,
it's one of my favorite documentaries I've ever seen. It's my favorite horror documentary. It's 4 hours long. So if you want it, you got it.
I'm definitely going to give this a 10 for sure. I want to go buy this on Blu-ray and watch it over and over. Maybe not over and over, but it's 4 hours, like you said, it's 4 hours long. But it's one of those, I would probably watch this every fucking October. I can see myself watching every October. So, but my thing is if you're not a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan, or maybe you just like the first one, maybe you only like a couple of them, and you're not a diehard Freddy Krueger fan, you might only think it's like an 8.5 or 9 because you're just not interested. But if you are a diehard fan, welcome to prime time, bitch. It's fun. You're gonna have a good time.
And that's the thing. Like, I got into doing these reviews with you. Like, it seemed like such a good idea because we used to watch. You know, I used to watch reviews of other people, and the funnest thing about reviews for me as a fan watching other people is, oh, I didn't think about that. That makes me want to go watch this movie right now. It makes you want to watch movies. And watching this, dude, you really have to fight the whole 4 hours. Like, I'm gonna go put in Freddy right now. I'm gonna watch them all day. And you're like, fuck, dude, you gotta go to work. You gotta sleep. I don't have to sleep. I can do it. Well, it literally doesn't make sense. It's like 16 hours worth of movies. It's like, well, I guess I'll just continue the documentary.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of movies that does a lot of things for you. Apparently, skipping work and getting fired doesn't mean shit.
It'll make you skip work and get fired. But yeah, guys, let us know what your favorite Freddy memory is. Comment below. Let us know. I'm Mike. He's Jay, and we'll see you guys next time.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.